is all the buzz today. If you're single and or you're coming into the dating market, and women today, we're doing more. We're more and more successful. We got more and more opportunities, more and more access to things, and being able to just do things on our own that we weren't able to do in previous generations. So all the buzz today is, now that we have more, what do you, the man, have, or what does the man have? And dating down. I don't want to date down.
Honestly, I don't know how you can get serious with a guy whose entire future is based on tips.
Should you date down? Oh my gosh, she's dating down. Like, we are, can you pay my bills? Let's cue the Destiny's Child. Bills, bills, bills. Alexa, play TLC. I don't want no scrubs. Like that. The modern debate amongst the sexes. But I think if you stay tuned, I will make some very good points that maybe you never thought about when it comes to dating down. Hi guys, welcome back to Curiosity Kills, and today we have a brand new video with a brand new topic for you guys. And I wanted to take a little break from Carrie and Big and their dynamics. I have videos for days on them. Do another couple with a totally different dynamic than Carrie and Big, and that is Steve and Miranda. We're gonna call this When Steve Met Miranda.
I'll have another glass of wine.
Please.
Please what?
I'll have another glass of wine, please.
Now, I want to let you guys in on a little secret when it comes to Steve and Miranda. Come here. Come close. Come close. Come here. Steve and Miranda was totally unrealistic and 100% an exception to the rule. There I said it. Because Steve and Miranda definitely was like the couple that if you watch the show, I feel like you most likely you rooted for Steve and Miranda. Everyone loves Steve and Miranda, and I feel like especially like today, Steve and Miranda's love story is seen more as like the success love story. Their dynamic is a tough one, and not that they made it seem like it was easy. They definitely went through like the right ups and downs of that type of relationship and how it can go. But the way that it ended are at best a huge exception to the rule. I feel like Miranda and Steve's story is more relatable, and it was more like seen as like a success story because we have more today is called the modern woman. We have the modern woman who is working. She may be successful. She might succeed her partner in her career and success. And so I feel like even today, the reason why that relationship still like stands true to the test of time, like it's still kind of seen, is because we have more women like Miranda today. And the more women there are like Miranda is inevitable. It is inevitable. You will come across or you will attempt to date someone who's not quite where you are. Even when you're young, early 20s, teenager, mid 20s, 30, it don't matter. At some point, or it's a really good chance that you will date a guy who is not quite where you are. Most women give this a try. Cause I don't really personally believe like there's like people who are better than other people, but there is a such thing as you're just not in the same place. You're not. There is levels to this. Not saying you better, but there is levels.
But you're trying to pretend that we live in a classless society, and we don't.
Not saying you're above, but there is levels to this thing. And just to be honest, Steve and Miranda were not in the same place, and they were not on the same level.
But you're talking about more than a difference in income. You're talking about a difference in background and education.
So I want to use Steve and Miranda just to to shine some light on how those things usually go, and is it a love story? Okay, so just a quick little backstory on Steve Miranda. Miranda is a successful lawyer. You know, went to law school. She's in her career. She's killing it. She's striving. She wants to be partner at her law firm. She's just, she's killing it. She makes her own money. She has her own place, and she just has, her own life. And it's together. And then she randomly one day went to a bar. She met Steve. He was the bartender, and they hooked up, and they started to date ever since then. And Steve was just a bartender. That's it. Go to work at night, bartend, go sleep during the day. That's it. And they started to date, bring us to here.
How much? $5.90. Oh!
She was dating a bartender who worshipped her. And Miranda was so crazy about him in return that she let him take her out to dinner, but only to places she knew he could afford.
Best slices in the city, don't you think?
So, Saturday, my firm is having its annual dinner thing, and I was wondering if you think that maybe the bar could spare you for a night. Could be my date. I warn you, it's going to be totally boring.
It's not going to be boring if I'm there with you.
You probably should wear a suit.
Oh! Well, it's going to be a big fancy up there.
You do have a suit, right?
Sure I do. It's really nice. It's gold.
It's gold?
Yeah, corduroy? What's wrong with corduroy?
I don't have enough time to tell you what's wrong with corduroy.
For the first time, Steve took Miranda back to his place.
So, this is your apartment.
Yeah.
A lot of wonderful artists worked as bartenders for years. Doesn't mean he won't be making money someday.
He's not an artist/bartender. He's just happy being a bartender, period. No aspirations beyond shaking the cocktails and refilling the peanut bowls.
Honestly, I don't know how you can get serious with a guy whose entire future is based on tips.
You're all missing my point. None of this matters to me. I just don't want it to matter to him. It's like when single men have a lot of money, it works to their advantage. But when a single woman has money, it's a problem you have to deal with. It's ridiculous. I want to enjoy my success, not apologize for it.
Bravo, honey, bravo. But you're talking about more than a difference in income. You're talking about a difference in background and education. This guy is working class.
Working class?
Yeah, it's the millennium, sweetie. We don't say things like working class anymore. But you're trying to pretend that we live in a classless society. And we don't. Afternoon, during her lunch break, Miranda took Steve shopping.
Thank you. What do you think?
I think it's kind of frightening how good I look.
It's a beautiful suit. I think we should take it.
Jesus. $1,800. Guess I better not spill anything.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
Y'all look at Steve's face. Steve's face says it all. Y'all know where we're going, but hold on, we're gonna get there. Hold on, we're going there.
What?
I invited you to this thing. I want to pay for the suit.
No way. You're not buying me a suit.
But I wanted to do this for you.
Then I started to think of you like my mother. And that could get a little weird for me.
Sorry, service declined. Would you you like to try another one?
Why don't you try one of mine?
No. How about this? Let's try 800 on the card. I'll write you a check for 1,000, and I'll give you the rest in cash.
Stay, forget it. It's too expensive.
Would you just let me buy the fucking suit?
Okay, so one thing that I can appreciate, at least in the writing of the show, they were trying to tell you through Steve's character, they were trying to tell you how you come off or what the dynamics end up being like when you do date someone who you're not at the same place. Steve said it, and it is very significant. You're going to come off like you're his mother. Whenever you're dating a man, when you're dating a man or a guy, and you start to try to fix them up, or you try to push them towards one thing, like, hey, when you try to be like that motivating factor, and when you, even like examples when you're younger, like when you try to like stay on them about doing their homework, or you're the one pushing him to like go to class, or hey, like you should really focus on this study area, or like this major, no, dress this way, you know, just do this or do that. What do you sound like? What do you sound like? You sound like his mother. And cue Miranda.
And believe me, no one wants to fuck mean mommy.
When you're dating a guy and he is not where you are, you're gonna come off as his mom. You're gonna feel it and he's gonna feel it. And you can pretty much turn the countdown, start the countdown onto the dissolving of that relationship, because that's a dynamic that is not sustainable and is very tough to sustain on both ends, because a woman doesn't want to feel like she's her man's mom, and a man does not want to feel like his supposed to be partner, his equal, is his mom.
Across town, Miranda was late for the firm dinner.
Why are you dressed like that?
I returned the suit. Frankly, I couldn't afford it.
Then why didn't you let me pay for it?
Miranda, you need to be with a guy who's more on your level.
Steve.
Being in that store with you, I didn't feel good about myself.
You want to break up with me over a suit? Fuck the suit.
It's not just the suit. There's always going to be things out of my reach.
So I'm being punished for being successful.
That's not how I mean it.
Good. Well, thanks for the info and standing me up, and it's been nice knowing you.
You know, I actually respect Steve, because at least he said it, because it's a good chance that in real life, the guy it's a good chance he won't actually tell you that. He, you know, most of the times it plays out in other ways. He'll just start to resent you. He might start lashing out at you. He might like start acting jealous, or you know, spiteful, or you know, maybe nasty kind of towards you, mean nasty towards you, you know. But no, Steve was a stand-up person. He said it, and he, you know, ended it because he knew, hey, I don't have the right footing in this relationship. I haven't done the necessary things in my life to have a relationship with you, and that is, man, that is not going to happen for you. That is not going to happen. They're not going to say that. They're going to they'll stay in a relationship, and it will just become toxic, most likely. Now, that is how most men feel when they're in that type of situation, but they don't say it. Steve said it because it's a show, but most men are not mature, like they won't know what to do.
Last night, as we were walking home from dinner, Steve asked me to go steady.
Oh, how sweet. They still call it that?
I don't know that I can make that kind of commitment.
Well, how many other guys are you dating?
That's not the point. I'm just so ambivalent about Steve and moving forward.
Well, you did let him back in your life.
So?
So that's gotta mean there's something there.
Sure, there's plenty there. lots of flaws that make me not want to stick my neck out. But then there's a lot of really great stuff too. Maybe I should just be honest and tell him what I'm really feeling, which is, what if somebody better comes along?
You gotta put a better spin on it than that. Later, Miranda was shocked to find her apartment had undergone a gender transformation of its own.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I forgot your cake one in Frederick that time. I ordered his Chinese.
I didn't think we were seeing each other tonight.
Yeah.
Did you have to work tonight?
Not until 10. And I got stuff here I can change into.
Right.
Miranda absolutely loved the man inside of her. She just didn't love him inside her apartment all the time.
I want to make this clear distinction because I think a lot of people don't think about this. It's just a small little tidbit and to what just happened here. See, it's a difference of a man giving you time when he has things going on in his life and he gives you time. That's more significant than a guy not having much going on in his life and he gives you time. And that's more what women want without being able to like say it or explain it. When I got things going on, and I'm giving you my time, I want you to be able to match that and be like, you got things going on and you give me your time. It don't mean the same when you got nothing going on, you give me all your time.
Hey,
What's going on?
you're on my side. My pillow, my guest pillow. That pile, your stuff, you have to keep it neater.
Maybe if you can spare a drawer or a box or something, I can keep my underwear out of the way.
You want a drawer?
Actually, I'd like to move in.
Most single women dream of this moment.
You know, like they said, you know, most women dream like, oh, let's move in together. That's like, oh, you know, women always like want a man to want to like, you know, have them move in with them. But for Miranda, the only reason why she was kind of resistant towards was because it's different when a man has a lot going on and he wants to move in. It seems more, but when a guy has everything to gain by moving in with you, well, it ain't gonna feel the same, you know? It's different when like a guy has nothing to gain from you and he wants that. But when a guy has everything to gain and that's what he wants, you like, whoa there. Like, you know, just hold on. That's pretty much the reaction that Miranda had, which would be a natural reaction to that situation that they were in.
Most single women but Miranda.
Wow. Okay. Where did that come from?
What have been thinking about it? We have a great time together. We're practically living together anyway.
Yeah, but we're not. We just started dating again. There's no need to go at warp speed here. I mean, nobody's dying, and I'm sure every book would say that we're not ready. I mean, you're here all the time.
No problem. I'll leave the key.
No, don't leave the key. I take the key. I need my space. I feel like I'm being suffocated.
Miranda. It's like you're the guy sometimes.
I'm sorry, but if you are the one that upgrades the man's lifestyle, it's not looking too good. It can't be that you're raising his standard of living. A guy, if anything, should match your standard of living or be able to, you know, raise your standard of living. But if you reaching down and pulling him up to your, like, she has this good, nice place, and of course, he wants to move in with her. that is not attractive. That is not attractive. Sorry, Steve, I love you. He's not a real person. But sorry, Steve, I love you. If you're just watching the show, you're actually going to love Steve and you're going to love Steve and Miranda. But no, you're not going to actually really think about these dynamics that are playing within their relationship that actually are red flags that Miranda shouldn't have taken Steve seriously. The only thing that she could respect about Steve, that he was a good guy and he actually loved her. He loved her and he showed love to her, and that's the only thing that she could respect about him, was the fact that he loved her and he was good to her and he was kind to her. And that is how women end up within a relationship with a guy that is just not where they are. He treats her very well. He's good to her. So, and he loves her, but it is an essential part of a healthy, sustainable relationship that you have some respect for the guy. And when I mean respect, I mean like he has to set the tone in those areas, with, like, when I say again, like ambition, motivation, striving, finances, stability. He needs to be setting that pace and setting that tone. And you cannot outpace him in that. You can, but I'm saying if you do outpace him in it, it is a recipe for, it's gonna be tough, and it ain't gonna be looking too good.
Never will. I'm never gonna be a lotus flower.
And may I just say thank God?
A girly girl would want her boyfriend to move in. I do love him. I do.
I know, sweetie. So what's my problem? I think in any relationship, one person's the alpha dog, the one that's in charge. That's you. You don't want to share your water dish.
But I'm very free with the chew toys.
That's
I hate that they try to make it as like, oh, Miranda's just masculine, and that's why she's having these issues in her relationship with Steve. It's just because she was just in such masculine energy, and that really was not the case. What it really was she did not respect Steve. Steve had nothing to give Miranda to respect, and that is very significant. Naturally, how we are wired as women, we have to admire something about him. We have to respect the type of man he is and what he's, where he's at and what he's doing and in his life. There has to be something that we look to him in admiration of. Respecting your guy, like having that admiration towards your guy, like looking to him like as someone who looks towards in that area, is very important in a relationship, in the natural dynamic between a man and a woman. It's just how it is. Like, if you supersede your guy in those ways, you will lose respect for him. And when you lose respect for a guy, you naturally start to lose attraction towards him, because it's just the way that we are as women. So yeah, it had nothing to do with like Miranda being masculine, or being her max and not being able to like rest in her feminine and allow Steve to. She did not respect Steve. Steve did not have anything going on in his life for Miranda to respect about him. I'm sorry, clarify. It had nothing to do with him like just being a boss. It was just that he was okay with it. Like, and up until he met Miranda, he had no vision for himself. He had no ideas for himself. He wasn't working towards anything. He wasn't moving towards anything. He had no plan in action, and Miranda is, she's making steps and making strides and things. And so what was there for her to respect about Steve?
Steve was having an even better Saturday.
Guess what happened? It's so fucking great.
What?
You know how at halftime at the Knicks game, and they pick somebody to try to make a half-court shot for $1 million prize?
Kinda, but go ahead. your hopes up. It's a kind of tough shot, isn't it?
Yeah, for other guys, but they don't know my moves, see?
Okay.
I don't want no charity. Seeing is believing. Next Saturday, you come down to the playground and watch me shoot. Promise? Promise?
At this age, I'd have to say I'm crush-proof.
What about Steve?
Oh, God, right. I forgot about my boyfriend. Is that normal?
You're asking me?
Steve thinks he's gonna win $1 million.
You told me.
I guess I have to keep repeating it until I believe it. It's totally illogical. And then he wants me to be all supportive. Well, what? It's a half-court shot. They're actual nicks who can't make it. I would have no trouble supporting him if it was a real dream, like opening his own bar or something, but this is just silly.
Isn't that what you couples do?
Oh, right, I can't. I got behind on this phone.
No, you don't. Let's go. Come on, you promised.
They messengered this overlaid. It has to be ready first thing Monday. I don't have time to go watch you shoot hoops.
I asked you to do one thing, one time for me, and you can't do. What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is with the attitude?
You know how many law things I've been to? How many times I do what you want?
Why are you getting so upset? It's just a stupid half-court shot.
Not to me, it's not. Why do you always have to be so pessimistic? You can't make that shot. Not just the shot, it's everything. We can't move in together. This isn't gonna work. If this is ever gonna work, I need you to believe in us a little more. I need you to believe in me, even if you think it is fucking stupid.
Across town, Miranda and Steve decided instead of staying in, they'd go out.
Since when did it become appropriate to bring babies to restaurants?
Oh, come on, you're cute.
Yeah. God invented babysitters for a reason. Don't get me wrong, I love babies. I just don't love babies with my suit. Oh my God, look at you. You're a mess.
We should do it. We should have a baby.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm serious. We wouldn't have to get married.
You're serious.
Yeah, I'm serious. The timing's perfect.
The timing is not perfect. We've only been living together for, what, 2 months? It's way too quick, and I'm up for a partner at the... We cannot have a baby. You're insane.
Come on. I want a baby to be fun.
It's not like owning a foosball table, Steve. Do you have any idea how much work a baby is?
Yeah, I know. But I can hang out with him during the day. You know, like Sesame Street with him while you're at work, and I gotta work at the bar.
And I'd be up all night with the baby, alone, and get no sleep, and then have to get up the next day and stay awake to work the 14 hours I need to make a partner so I can afford the apartment you're watching all this Sesame Street in.
Let's hope the baby inherits my positive attitude.
I'm sorry, Steve, but the nerve of you to get an attitude with Miranda when she just stating the facts. I mean, you're not even like consistent or stable enough, but you want to have a child and she's supposed to be thrilled about it? Come on, Steve. Come on, Steve. Come on.
Hey, School, can't you do something and get rid of your chicken little?
Just turn that down, I'm working. Okay, not low enough.
Hey, you're gonna have to get used to a noisy house if we're gonna have a baby around. Zoinks! Don't look now!
Dudes who ain't got much gonna always try to trap you with a baby. Be aware, ladies. Be aware.
Okay, look, I've been thinking about this baby thing. We're really not in a great place right now, and I don't think... Can we have this conversation, please, without Scooby-Doo? I'm serious, Steve. Turn off the cartoons.
Which goose? What about the goose?
You know what? Forget it.
Miranda!
It was then that Miranda realized she may have already had a baby in her house.
I want to shelve this whole baby thing for a while.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Seriously, we're in this shitty place. We fight, and I'm working really long hours because I'm up for this partner thing, and it's like he's using a baby as a band-aid for everything that's wrong with us.
Well, what is wrong with you guys?
I don't know. It's like he's a kid, and I end up nagging him all the time. I'm mean mommy.
And at 3 a.m., Miranda was getting nothing but aggravated. Please, go to sleep. Shh, please, I beg you. Here, look. This is supposed to...
Are you happy?
Not really, no.
We get this puppy, and taking care of it. Huge mistake.
Come on, relax. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine for you because you're not doing anything.
He's just getting used to us.
Hey.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, this is it. I am so sick of you being the kid here. I cannot be in charge all the time. We're supposed to be equals, partners. You think we can have a baby? We can't even have a puppy together.
Just going through a rough patch here.
This isn't a patch, Steve. This is it, all the time. And it's not good.
Great. So you're just gonna give up on us, just like that?
Not just like that. I have been trying not to give up on us for a long time.
It was then that Miranda realized something. All this time, she thought the problem was her. It wasn't. It was them. And there was never a good time to say what she had to say. This isn't gonna work, Steve.
So yeah, it's going to happen. You can't avoid it. Miranda is more established. She's a little bit older, but this applies to when you're young too, because you're going to date, when you're young, you're going to date someone who maybe you're well taken care of by your family and he is working at the mall or something, and so he makes maybe just like minimum wage, and he won't be able to afford things that you will be able to afford. So you'll find yourself like, flipping the bill a lot, and you think like, well, we're young. It's more of a leeway because, it's not gonna always be like this. But I'm telling you, like, that is a very tricky, and that's like a stab in the dark. That really is, because even though, it is, y'all are younger, so it's hard to tell, like, where a guy is gonna go. But if you see, like, okay, I know I am motivated, I am putting in the effort, the time, the energy, the work to get to where I want to be, but they are just, lollygagging, and they don't have no clear vision, they don't have a clear plan, they're not working towards anything, then it is a highly good chance that no, this person is gonna always be just somewhere else than you are, and you will always find yourself over like trying to compensate for that area in a relationship. And yeah, it usually does not work out, because naturally that's just not how the dynamic of a relationship between a man and a woman is to be. That's just how we're wired. We're not wired for us as the woman to be, compensating in the relationship in that way. And a man is not wired to be a receiver and to be getting compensated for in a relationship in that way. He won't feel like he's in the best position in that relationship, and he will start to go elsewhere, and you will start to go elsewhere. And like I said, start the clock, the relationship will start to dissolve.
I'm opening up my own bar.
Steve, you're kidding?
That's scary, right? And it's happening soon. It's like next Saturday. I'd really love it if you'd come. Oh, Miranda, you remember Jessica?
Yes, sure. Of course, yes.
So you come, right? Next Saturday?
Oh, we'd love to see you there. She weed him, Carrie, right in front of me. No way I'm going to his opening, right? I mean, do you think I should go? What really pisses me off is it was my idea. I'm the one who told him he should open his own bar in the first place. But do I get any credit?
I'm guessing not, no.
No, of course not. It's infuriating. Why couldn't he have been this ambitious when he was with me?
Well, maybe you inspired him. Maybe he named the bar Miranda's or, Hobsnob.
He named the bar Scout, Carrie, after his dog.
You came! I'm so glad. So, what do you think?
I think you did good.
Really? You mean it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I never would have done this if it wasn't for you.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
Are you kidding me? This whole thing was your idea. You always told me I should start my own bar. I never forgot that. I just never thought that I could, so thanks.
You did good.
So yeah, as Miranda mentioned previously, that she kind of like inspired or motivated him or suggested, let's just use that word. She suggested that, you really are into like bartending, that really is like your forte. That's what you like, that's what you love. Why don't you open your own bar? At least that way you own the place and you're making the money, and it's not just, you're not working for wages, you're running a bar. She suggested that, and it sparked something in his life, and he decided, eventually he did decide to like go forward. She was that motivating factor. And I have to point out that Miranda actually started to kind of, she could take him serious was when he got up off it and he actually started to get busy. He started doing things. Emotion is on board, so he has ownership now. It's not just aimlessly like just being a bartender. He has some direction. He's trying to do something. And that's something that she could respect. Their story, they ended up getting together happily ever after, I guess. I don't know, married with kids. Miranda got pregnant eventually, and they eventually got back together, and they got married, and they had a family, and they lived, together. Happily ever after, the end. But honestly, that breakup, that would probably be the end. In real life, that probably would have been like it. So yeah, when he actually started like to do things and take steps and make moves, she could support that. But when he had no vision, no idea, what was there to actually support? Not until he actually started to accomplish some things that him and Miranda were able to just settle. And actually, they kind of got on the same playing field a little bit, and they were able to progress and move forward. Happy for Steve and Miranda, but it's a lot of things for you to chew on. Dating down. Is it a love story? My opinion,